Hello everyone, welcome to FTE. Feel the English, feel the fragrance of learning. This is A. Ahmed, your presenter. Today we are going to analyze the poem The Chimney Sweeper from Songs of Innocence by William Blake. So get ready, let's start. William Blake is one of the greatest poets in English literature. About the poem The Chimney Sweeper. In the poem The Chimney Sweeper, the poet William Blake has visualized the dream of a little chimney sweeper boy, Tom Dacre, to criticize or critiques the poor and deplorable condition of the working class people. The poem also reveals his bias against child labor and the separation of the working class people by the higher class people and religious and social injustices burdened against them. Here the poet's intention is reformative and positive, to make the sensitive people aware against these injustices and stand against the oppressors, to support the weak and working class poor people. The poem is the reflection of the poet's human values and kind-hearted attitude towards the weaker section of the society. Now the poem The Chimney Sweeper. The poem Chimney Sweeper has been written in 6 quatrains containing, each quatrain contains 2 rhyming couplets with the rhyming scheme AABB. All the quatrains contain the same rhyming scheme or rhyme scheme of the poem, that is AABB. The Chimney Sweeper is the story of a very young chimney sweeper boy named Tom Dacre, and this story has been presented by another fellow chimney sweeper boy, little boy, who had lost his mother in a very young age, and his father sold him into the chimney sweeping business, and he is the speaker in the poem The Chimney Sweeper. The poet has revealed the poor and deplorable condition of the chimney sweepers and injustices against them by the higher class people, business people. The poem has revealed the injustices met against them and their poor conditions. The poet has tried to make the people aware against these social injustices and also make the chimney sweepers aware of their condition and stand against who are treating them in a very negative way. The first quatrain of the poem The Chimney Sweeper introduces the speaker. When my mother died, I was very young, and my father sold me while yet my tongue could sincerely cry, weep, 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 weep. This is the introduction of the speaker. The speaker is introducing himself. He is a very little boy, young boy. His mother died when he was very young, and his father sold him into the chimney sweeping business. When yet his tongue could sincerely cry, weep, 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 weep. That means he was very young. He was insincere and he was immature. Then his father sold him into that dirty and risky work. So your chimneys I sweep, and in suit I sleep. This is the condition of the chimney sweeper. As the speaker says, he has to sleep in soot, in vermin, and in very dirty condition. He has to work hard. He has to sweep chimneys of the industries. He has to bear hard labor. He has to bear dirtiness, and he has to bear soot and vermin that spoils his skin. And with a little money, for a little money, he has to do hard labor. He has to do many things. He has to sacrifice his happiness, and he has to labor more. So this is the condition of the speaker. The speaker first has introduced his condition as a chimney sweeper. All the chimney sweepers were facing the same problems in their lives. Their lives were going wrong, no happiness, and they had to work in soot and vermin. So your chimneys I sweep, and in soot I sleep. There is Tom Dacre, who cried when his head, that curled like a lamb's speck, was shaved. So I said, hush, Tom, never mind it, for when your head's bare, you know that the soot cannot spoil your white hair. Now, from the second quatrain of the poem, The Chimney Sweeper, the speaker starts the story of his fellow chimney sweeper boy named Tom Dacre. It may be the name Tom Dacre. There is a possibility that the name Tom Dacre has been derived from Tom Dark. That name verily suits the profession. So Tom Dacre. There is Tom Dacre, who cried when his head, that curled like a lamb's speck, was shaved. So I said, hush, Tom, never mind it, for when your head's bare, you know that the soot cannot spoil your white hair. From the second quatrain, the story of Tom starts. One day, Tom Dacre was shaved. His head was shaved off because of his curly and white hair. As his hair might be spoiled by the soot while working, therefore his head was shaved, and that is why this little boy was crying and shrieking. Then the speaker consoles him he tries to make him quit. And his hair was curled like a lamb's back. Worship. So I said, "Hush, Tom, never mind it, for when your head's bare, you know that the soot cannot spoil your white hair." Thus, the speaker consoles Tom Dacre, saying that his head was shaped because his beautiful curly and white hair might be spoiled by the soot while working in the chimney sweeping, while working or sweeping the chimneys. And thus the speaker consoles Tom Dacre. This is the second quatrain of the poem. And so he was quit, and that very night, and thus Tom Dacre was quit, and he stopped to cry and shriek. And that very night, as Tom was sleeping, he had such a sight that thousands of sweepers, Dick, Joe, Ned, and Jack, were all of them locked up in coffins of black. And that night, while sleeping, the speaker was also sleeping nearby. Tom Dacre had a dream. He dreamed a dream, that is, he had such a sight when he was sleeping, that thousands of sweepers, Dick, Joe, Ned, and Jack, thousands of sweepers and his known fellow sweepers, Dick, Joe, Ned, Jack, and others, were all locked up in black coffins. They were locked up in black coffins. The melancholy dream. And by came an angel who had a bright key, and he opened the coffins and set them all free. Then down in green plain, laughing, they ran and wash in a river and shine in the sun. They were locked up in the black coffins, and then a good angel came there, and he had a bright key. The angel opened all the coffins by the key and freed all of them, and they were they got rid of the danger, and they were happy. Then down in green plain, laughing, they ran and wash in a river and shine in the sun. Coming out of the black coffins, all of them washed them in a river, nearby river, and they were looking bright in the sunshine. They were enjoying, laughing and leaping as they got rid of the danger. Their sorrowful moments had passed, and wash in a river and shine in the sun. The naked and white, all their bags left behind. They rise upon clouds and sport in the wind. The naked and white, all their bags left behind. They had their bags with them, and these bags were left behind, naked and white. That is, white means the bags were clean, and naked means there was nothing inside their bags, symbolizing or representing that they were free from their works, from their burden, and they could enjoy their life to the fullest. The new uh, days of happiness came to their life. It is the symbol of the naked and white. Their beds were left behind, that they they should not labor in chimney sweeping, and they should not dirty their body and cloth. So this is the dream of Tom Taker. The dream dreamed by Tom Taker. They rise upon clouds and sport in the wind. This line represents the temper of their happiness of the chimney sweepers after being freed from the danger, freed from the black coffins, where they were locked up. They rise upon clouds and sport in the wind. They were very happy and leaping and laughing as they were rising upon clouds and sport in the wind. Such a great moment. It was such a great moment. And the angel told Tom if he had been a good boy, he had have God for his father and never want joy. And the angel also said to Tom that if he is a good boy, he will have this paradise one day. That it is a ray of hope in the mind of Tom Taker that one day Tom Taker and other chimney sweepers will be free, and they will have happy life, better future. This is the ray of hope that Tom Taker dreamed in his dreaming. So this quatrains describes the story of Tom Taker and the dream of Tom Taker. Their imprisonment inside the black coffins and their free up of the danger by an angel. The last quatrain reveals the reality, that it was just a dream, it was not the reality. Now the reality is that Tom awoke, and we rose in the dark and got with our picks and our brushes to work. Though the morning was cold, Tom was happy and warm. So if all do their duty, they need not fear harm. The final quatrain of the poem, The Chimney Sweeper, reveals the reality of their life, the life of chimney sweepers of that time, that the poet observed. Tom awoke, and the dream was broken, and it was dark, it was night, and got with our bags and our brushes to work, and the speaker was also a speaker was present before Tom, and they were ready to go to their regular work of chimney sweeping, taking their brushes and tools and bags. Though the morning was cold, Tom was happy and warm. It was morning and not the complete dark, it was dawn actually, then morning. It was cold, it was very cold, but Tom was happy to go to the work. He was happy because of the dream, because from the dream he learned something that one day they will have the happy days, they will have the bright future. A ray of hope has been created in the mind of Tom Decker, and also the speaker feels encouragement and inspired by the story of Tom Decker, and thus both of them were happy. Basically, Tom Decker was very happy and confident, and he was ready to go to the work of chimney sweeping. So it was a fresh start of their work. So if all do their duty, they need not fear harm. And they had no fear in the mind. The dream was an encouragement, a motivation to all of them. So this is the poem, The Chimney Sweeper. So what is the message in it? The dream is not a dream, it is motivation and reformation in the poem. The poet William Blake has revealed the reality of our society and how the chimney sweeper boys were suffering from various problems and issues in their lives, how they had to labor and work hard, and they had to work in soot and vermin in dirty condition, and what was the low, how the low standard of their life. This all these things has been presented in this poem. The poem contains 6 quatrains. Each of the quatrain contains 2 rhyming couplets, and the rhyme scheme, the common rhyme scheme is all the quatrains, it is A B B. The very first quatrain of the poem, The Chimney Sweeper, introduces the speaker, who is a chimney sweeper boy. He was sold by his father to this chimney sweeping business, and after his mother was died. The condition of the speaker reveals how they were suffering, how the chimney sweepers or the working class people were suffering then in the age of industrialization. Though the age was the age of industrialization and the growth of science was rapid, but in this period the labor class or lower class people were suppressed by the higher class people. They were taken to do work in the industries or in the business, and they were paid very low, and they were made hard labor. So this condition has been presented in the poem. And the dream of Tom Decker has a great impact of the significance of the poem, The Chimney Sweeper. Tom's dream reveals the fact that they were living the life of imprisonment, freedomless life, and they were living the life of unhappiness, sadness, imprisonment, freedomless. And the dream of the angel that freed them all up from the black coffin is the hope that one day may come to them, that they will be happy, their future will be bright, and the possibility is that they were living in the false happiness, or we can say false paradise. The society and the culture, the society, the higher class people showed them the dream of better future, and were using them falsehoodly, cheating them. And there is a message that after the dream has been broken, after the dream was broken, the speaker and Tom Daker and all other chimney sweepers had to go to their org. There was no change in their life, even after the dream, but they got the motivation, encouragement, inspire that one day will come to them. So they were happy, especially Tom Daker was happy. And there is a message that they could not do nothing because they were very young to stand against the oppressors. But it is the message to the sensitive people of the society, well-wishers of the society, that they should stand with them, with the poor chimney sweepers. Though the title of the poem is The Chimney Sweeper, it is not the condition of the chimney sweeper, but it is the condition of all the people of working class people, all the people of working class. And this condition has been revealed in the poem. A short summary of the poem. The speaker of the poem, a little chimney sweeper boy, tells the dream of his fellow chimney sweeper, Tom Daker. He introduces himself as a young chimney sweeper who has sold to the chimney sweeping business by his father after his mother died. Then he tells Tom Daker's dream and story. One day, Tom Daker was crying and shrieking as his head was shaved off such that soot could not spoil his white curly hair. The speaker consoles Tom, and he then was quiet. That very night, while sleeping, Tom had a dream. He saw thousands of chimney sweepers, Dick, Joe, Ned, Jack, and so on, were locked up in black coffins. Then an angel came to them with a bright key and freed them all, unlocking the coffins. All of them bathed nearby river and were in joy, shining bright in the sun. The angel tells Tom that if he is a good boy, he would have that paradise for his own. Then Tom awakes, and the speaker was also with him. The morning was cold, but they were happy with the hope of better future, and they go to their work of sweeping. This is all about the chimney sweeper. The poem is a great message actually by the poet William Blake. The poem is reformative and positive in motivation. So if you have learned something from this poem analysis, and if you liked the video, don't hesitate to give a thumbs up, and if you have any query, please comment on the comment section below. Don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon, and never forget to share with your friends. Thank you for being with us. Have a nice day. May God bless you. Thank you once again. Bye bye.